going to make this video short and simple. The Premier League's back tomorrow. Hooray! Celebrations, right? Well, on your YouTube feed right now, you're going to be seeing a lot more of these Premier League predictions. And some people who are a lot smarter than me putting their predictions about which team will go first. So, I'm going to put my thoughts out there. Am I a football expert? Hell no. But this time, I'm going to spice things up a little bit. I'm going to put like a little bit of bold statement, go for the risky option. Because the Premier League, as we all know it, is unpredictable. So I'm going to put some like unpopular opinions on it. Please don't get angry, and hopefully this time next year I can actually be proud of myself. As well as that, you may think I may be Russian. Well, I'm packing my stuff to go on holiday right now. So may have missed some important transfers while filming this. This is literally 11 days before actually the Premier League will actually be announced. So I may have missed some important transfers. So things may or may not have changed. So let's kick things off with the relegation favourites. 20th, Bournemouth. Michael B. Jordan, you're officially an idiot. I thought these celebrity owners will actually make the smart decisions, but turns out he made the worst one of the bunch. So let's take on last year. Bournemouth surprised everyone, got safety, and with the help of Gary O'Neill, they did brilliant. And in my honest opinion, I put Premier League Manager of the Season. So how did you reward him? You got in some new transfers, which looked really good, but then you also sacked him. You freaking... I don't care who this next manager is. Apparently he's meant to be the next big thing. But for crying out loud, you don't get rid of a good manager who helped you stay up. So Bournemouth, you're getting relegated, mate. 19th, Wolves. Now this one's a shocker, but I've got some good reason. Wolves have been through a selling crisis at the moment. Yep, selling all their best players from Collins to Raul Jimenez to so many more, and Traoré out of contract as well. So many players are leaving, but who's coming through the door? Absolutely no one. You even sold your captain to Saudi Arabia. But again, there's no one coming through that door, and your manager's already expressed a lack of transfers. So I think this is going to be a very, very painful season for Wolverhampton. 18th, Sheffield United. Now, all the promoted clubs, I think Sheffield United show the most weakness. Now, Burnley have got some good backing and backed up with some decent signings. Luton have got a very unpredictable record, so I highly rate them. But Sheffield United, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, their squad's pretty decent and they did well to get promoted. But in the Premier League, I think it's going to be a different story. 17th, Nottingham Forest. Now, I'm happy Nottingham Forest have not gone through a spending spree, because if not, financial fair play will whack you in the face. But I just feel like Nottingham Forest with their signings, they're alright, but as well as that, second season syndrome might kick in. And I've got to say this, I think Nottingham Forest manager is going to be the first one to get the sack this season. They've just been so unpredictable with the board, so I think he's going to get the first one to get the sack. 16th, Luton. I've got to go with my boys, the Hatters, the Luton Town, to get survival. You may think with that team they won't get safety at all, but I think they're going to surprise a lot of people in the Premier League, and I really hope with survival as well. They've got the squad. They need to get the stadium sorted, because that's the only thing that's worrying me with Luton Town. If you don't get that stadium sorted to Premier League safety, smacking in some fines like a right hand from Conor McGregor. So that's my only worry with them. 15th, Crystal Palace. I don't predict much for Crystal Palace, but with a whole load of exits and not many coming in, I'm not sure. It may have changed since the time of I upload this video, but I think Crystal Palace will just get a nice and easy 15th place. 14th, Everton. Now this is where it gets scary for Everton. You got your new stadium around the corner, and yet you can't really spend some money on some big transfers. That's the scary thing about it. The good news is the players that are coming back. You got your Braithwaite. You got so many of these good players coming back from loan. It should be a decent squad. Sean Dyche can actually mould this team into something special. And they've got their striker they've always wanted. So no Neil Maupay. You got your big Dutch striker. Let's see if Everton can survive a very, very long season, but then get rewarded with a new stadium. Afterwards, I got 13th. I've got West Ham United. It's scary for West Ham United. They've been absolutely brilliant in the transfer market, getting Arsenal the best price out of Declan Rice. And it's going to be an absolutely sad thing to see him play for Arsenal because he's been such a cult hero for West Ham. You haven't done much to actually bring some players in, haven't you? That might change, but you already got a bid £20 million rejected from Harry Maguire, which, to be fair, I would have at least spent 5, not 20. And the one thing is, West Ham have not been the best at actually signing players. We've all seen their track record last season and then the season before that. So whoever West Ham do bring in to be the big replacement for Declan Rice has got a lot of weight on his shoulders, also got Europa League football to contend with, and as well as that, got to get the expectations of, well, keeping West Ham fans happy. In 12th place, I've actually gone for Fulham. Now, respect for Marco Silva for not leaving for a Saudi club. Things could have been said, on the other hand, for Mitrovic, who's actually demanding to leave for the Saudi club. I don't blame him, big pay rise in that, but if they would have sold him, I actually would have placed Fulham a lot lower, but times could have changed since this video might have been uploaded. Their replacement, who they got in, Raul Jimenez, is a good striker, but he still hasn't shooken off the concussion problem he had a couple seasons ago. That explains the low price, to be honest with you. So it's a bit of a 50-50 predicament if you're a Fulham fan. Up next in 11th place, I've actually gone for Burnley. Now, all the 3 clubs, why did I think this team was actually going to get the highest? I think Kompany is a great manager. In the league, championship, he was so good at getting the best out of his players and turn them into the best. Like I said, they were the odd ones favourites to get promoted, and everyone was right. Now, in the Premier League, now they did get some good signings. I think James Trafford will be an absolute flop, in my honest opinion. Now, you may be thinking, wait a minute, you're absolutely crazy. Why is that? Well, it's a fine line of, well, playing in League One last season, then going up to the Premier League. It's a big shock. Like, for example, you had to deal with Ryan Hardy last season. Well, this season you got Erling Haaland banging those balls against you. But my honest opinion is, if one of those big clubs sack their manager, I think they'll be sniffing around Kompany first. In 10th place, I've actually got Brentford. I completely forgot about Brentford, to be honest with you. It's not the fact they're forgettable, it's just the fact they made some improvements, but the one position I will be worried about the most is the striker position. Ivan Toney still got that band in, and they haven't got a suitable replacement. Yeah, he'll be back sooner or later, but you got to get someone in there in the meanwhile, because if you get a dodgy start of the season, it'll fuck up for the rest of the season. And I see Brentford's point of selling Raya, but the problem is you haven't got any good bidders. You're already scared off Tottenham, and, well, I'd rather see Bayern Munich going for De Gea than your goalkeeper, so I think a solid 10th position is not that bad for Brentford standards. In 9th place, I've got Brighton. Now, I'm not going to criticise any of their signings, because if I do, they'll prove me wrong. They've been absolutely brilliant. I think Brighton have got the best transfer window by miles. I don't know any of their signings apart from João Pedro and James Milner, but apart from that, they might surprise me, because Brighton surprises everyone. The departures, I don't care at the moment, because they'll still bring in some best players. I think Caicedo should stay at the club, but that things could change if the £90 million isn't going to be enough to turn away Brighton's noses. I think the problem is they're going to have so many games to play. For example, Europa League football, which brilliant for them, but as well as that, they've got the Premier League to tend to as well. So it's going to be a little bit of, can they get the squad depth to actually do well? In 8th place, I've got Tottenham Hotspur. It's not going to be a good season for Tottenham. Now, I was judging to put them up higher, but Big Ange over here, he's got a lot of work to do. He didn't make any marquee signings, but the majority reason I put him in 8th is that, my honest opinion, I think they'll sell Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. I think at the moment Tottenham's owner needs the money due to the whole fraud scandal, so he's going to sell Kane to Bayern, and offers don't give any of the manager any of that sniff of that money, rely on Richarlison, which that went out well last season, and pray for the best for Tottenham Hotspur. But I think they should definitely still keep Andrew as one of their managers for next season. 7th place, Newcastle United. Now this is an utter shocker, and I'm getting my earphones ready for those Geordie fans getting pissed off at me. Why Newcastle in 7th? Let me tell you. I think Champions League football is too much for him. And as well as that, we can go on to signings. Their biggest one, Sandro Tonali, in my honest opinion, will be the flop of the season. That's just me. I'm saying right now, Sandro Tonali, flop of this season. We've all seen the memes. He's upset. He didn't want to leave Milan at all. We're crying out loud, but the club forced him out due to the money. He looked upset. He looked depressed. But I think he won't put his heart into the shirt, if you know what I mean. He won't put the effort. He won't put the determination. He'll just like, oh, I'm just doing this for the money. And then next season, once Milan calls him over for a loan, he'll be begging. He'll want out. And afterwards, he'll loan him out and etc. That's just my honest opinion. 6th place, Aston Villa. I'm scared. I'm literally scared because Unai Emery's creating a horror film. He's literally Frankenstein. He's creating a monster here, which is the name of Aston Villa Football Club. And it's actually scary how this club's actually going to turn out to be. Yeah, they got Conference League as well, but the signings they've made is an actual footprint on the Premier League. So watch out, Aston Villa coming for you. 5th place, Chelsea. Chelsea did the #1 job, which everyone wanted them to do. Get rid of some players. And boy, oh boy, they were just shipping them out to Saudi Arabia, alright. Yeah, they got rid of a load of players. They did get into new ones. But with Pochettino at the terms, I think he will get the best out of the young players, especially Mudryk and Enzo Fernandez, and turn them into well-beers. As well as that Chelsea's amazing youth academy, which I'm so hoping he uses. For 4th place, I've gone with Liverpool. Now, the club, in my honest opinion, have done the best signings throughout all the window. I've gone with Liverpool. Yeah, they've got rid of Fabinho as well as that Jordan Henderson, but they've got some great players to replace them in. They've actually been rebuilding right here. And if they started selling some more players than that, and the rumour keeps going out that they might be the favourites for Mbappe, then who knows? In 3rd place, I've gone for Manchester United. Now, Man United, don't get me wrong, made some great signings. I think Erik ten Hag has got the club by the scruff of the throat and are getting what the best out of these players. I think Rashford is doing amazing right now, and since Ronaldo has left, things are going well for him, and I think he can rebuild and make this squad a lot better. In 2nd place, I've gone for Manchester City. Nah, I'm only messing with you. 2nd place, I've gone for Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal made the best signings possible. Literally, they got Rice. They've got Carl Havertz. They've got freaking Timbers. So many more players. As well as that Balogun's back. It's just a whole different ball game here at Arsenal. And that's 1st place. It's Man City. They're going to win it again. They're going to win it again. And I don't want them to win it again. But if Haaland keeps up his good form like he did last season, then, well, the rest is history. Yeah, they did offload some players off to the Saudis, as well as that Bayern Munich for Kyle Walker. It's just a matter of time, though, because they'll get the best replacements, like Kovacic. I think is a fantastic signing for the price you got him for. And, well, we're going to be seeing Manchester City lift up another damn Premier League trophy, which I don't want to, but it's going to happen. Right, that's my Premier League predictions done, and I can't wait to rewatch this in a couple of months' time and get them all wrong, or at least one right. I'll be happy if I got one right, to be fair. As well as that, I went for bold statements this time. I didn't do the easy prediction. I went bold in my honest opinions. And if you need me, I'm off on holiday. Hope you lot have a great time. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you need me, I'll be drinking some Rattlers. Laters!